Hello, I'm Lloyd Moyer. Today I have some maple blanks that I've been milling all of these logs, and I have a couple of smaller pieces that I need to prep to put on the lathe. So I'm gonna let you watch me as I lay out the circles that are going to go on them, figure out what kind of blanks I want to get out of them, and then I'll cut them on the bandsaw. So that's what you're going to watch today. Have fun. Thanks for watching. So what I have here are three pieces of this maple that I've been working. This last one, is very close to the pith. The pith is right here, and I may not get anything out of that. I'm going to have to play with it a little bit. It also has this knot running through it. It's actually a branch, I think, because it has some very nice feathering. So I'd love it if I didn't have to lose that. But we're gonna try. We're gonna see about that. And I think I'm gonna start with I'll start with this one, and I need to get a pencil, I guess. I guess I need to invest in a shop pencil. I desperately need one. Never around when I need one. So this piece is about, I just measured it, is about 3.25 inches tall. And down here at this end, it is about, we'll call that 4.25 inches this way. So I'm going to go 4.25 inches there. So that'll be my first square, and I'm just gonna mark a circle on this. And I do think it's a good idea to try to eyeball your center, because the more you do it, the better you get at it. I need to come in some. Honest to God, I am usually a little better at this than this too, but again, I'm just practicing anyway, so that's going to be about close enough. So I just drive the point in, and that gives me my center anyway. And this also, doesn't have to be perfect, because I'm going to put it on the lathe and make it nice and round anyway, and my bandsaw doesn't really make very good circles. When I cut these, you'll see why. Then for the next piece, so I'll have a square coming off of there. Then at this cut, I'm at about 5 inches. So I can come down 5 inches. And again, just mark with the pencil there. That's pretty close. Funny, my bandsaw doesn't like to cut good circles, but it also doesn't like to cut straight lines. So go figure. All right. So these are probably boxes sitting in here because they're so deep, but they could also be nice deep bowls. So then at this line, I'm at still at about 5 inches. So at about 5 inches, I'm just cutting the very end off here. Now the other thing that I could do is have this last piece, which is about, again, about 3 inches tall by 5.5 inches. I could have a 3-inch box on either side, and I think I might do that. Might make some pillboxes out of that. I'm going to cut it here, and I'm going to leave that, and maybe it'll be a bowl and maybe it won't. So this piece is actually, it's the mirror of this one. So we're going to treat it similarly. I'm going to measure my length here. That's about 5 inches. So I'm going to go in about 5 inches, make a mark. Got a circle there. And then here I am at about, now notice I'm measuring from the end of the bark here. I'm not going all the way out to the outside of the bark. Still at about 5. I'm going to be 5 inches there. Move this out of the way. That one, and then lastly for this one, again at this line, a little bigger than 5 inches, maybe 5 1/4. So 5 1/4 is just about right to the end. So that one's going to be three bowls. The point of the compass also gives me a place if I'm gonna put a hole in this for a screw center. That gives me a mark where I can do that. Now this piece, again, here's the branch, comes right through to there. That actually might turn away, but this radial split from the pith is going to get in the way. So I am certainly going to cut this. I'm going to cut this. I think I probably want to have a right angle to this face. So I'm going to take, I will certainly have a cut that goes this way, all the way down the length. And then if this is square, if I were to make this square, it's about 3 inches. So I'm going to want it there anyway. So I'm going to cut this little crack out for sure. and then I'm going to have I'm going to want a right angle to that. So hopefully everything is going to be at right angles to this face, which is probably my best face. And that is, we call that 80 millimeters. From there we have 80, it's about right there. So in a perfect world, and again, my bandsaw won't cut this straight line, but that's about a square, and then we'll see what comes of that. So going down here, take that all the way out to the end. And that, if I count that as actually, sorry, I'm just thinking of how to do this geometrically. I think I want to have a parallel face here. I think this is my parallel. This is my parallel face. So if I go down here, right, this small end is 65 millimeters. So 65 millimeters from here, it's right there. So that actually cuts out most of this split and branch and all of that. So I might make that cut. That's going to be my first cut, is right along there for this one. And we'll see how we go from there. Yeah, that's going to be my first cut for this. And then we're going to go from there and we'll see how it goes. So let's go check that out. We're going to move over to the bandsaw. This long piece seems to pose the greatest challenge. I'm going to start with it. And I'm just going to go straight along this line, or at least as best I can. So there's still this is the sort of the pith of that branch here. There's still some of that. And what we're going to do then next is I'm going to take a square off of this. So I'm going to cut down here to make this a square. So I'm going to mark that out and come back and make the cut. Okay, so I want to be parallel to this face. So I'll be cutting from here. And that's the line that I'm cutting out. So I'll be cutting out most, or at least some of this. And I'm going to come down a little bit here. How's that for a good cut? Nice and bowed. It's all right. It's good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. That'll be I think that'll be good for the little pill boxes I've been making. I might get 2 of them out of that. Actually, maybe I'll just cut it in half here. Okay. You see, there's just a hint of that split right there, but that'll turn out. Next, I'm just going to cut, I think these I'm just going to cut into squares. This one is a little bit uneven. That'll be fine there. So I'm actually going to turn this one over and cut it from the other end. So I was just marking about where I wanted to go. And then this is the one I was talking about doing as end grain. I'm just going to take the bark off here real quick. And there's a split here, so I'm just going to take a bit off of this end. Yeah, take a bit off of this end also. Good, so that's clean now. I'm contemplating here. I don't know quite what I want to do with this, so I'm going to leave it. This actually I think this will be better off as face grain. So I'm going to leave that just like that for the moment. So out of all of that, I have this piece, which I just cut. that I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with yet. It is 6 inches by 4.5 inches, and then was about 3 inches tall. Yeah, 2 3/4 inches tall. So that'll probably be a 4.5 bowl. Let me just mark that out. That will probably end up being an end grain box because it's nice and thick. Yeah. That's going to be the thing to do with that. So we'll have a face grain box, a good bowl there, one that might even be matching. I might be able to do some matching sets there. This one here, it's a little smaller, and this is a little smaller, so I might even be able to do a matched set there as well. And then this slightly larger one, and then I have these two end grain pieces that'll be for pill boxes. So that's a good haul out of what I normally would have thrown in the firewood pile when I was just trying to make bigger bowls. That'll get me a whole lot of good stuff, a whole lot of fun. So there's that. Thanks for watching.